Hello and welcome to the Daily Neloo. Today I'm here with Joe Praino, comedian and actor. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome.
Thank you for the bourbon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's Friday. We can have a drink. So it is November 15th, and in honor of Movember, I wanted to bring you on because you have a pretty intense mustache.
Pretty strong, I've heard. I've heard from people that it's a strong mustache.
But you can see in the mirror every day that it's a strong mustache.
Yeah. I don't rank myself up against other people, but a lot of people that I meet do. They're like, that's the best mustache ever.
Well,
and I'm like, wow, okay.
Best is an interesting word to use.
Right. And you know, it's not like a competition mustache or anything. I'm not one of these guys that's like twirling it or whatever.
Right.
But for some reason, and it's always like 20-something white dudes who really
that wear
like
flannel.
it. Yeah, they like really wish they could have it or something like that. And so they're like, I think I remind them of their favorite uncle or something.
Yeah, well, you look like one of my uncles, so I can understand.
I get that a lot from girls too. It's always like, you look like my uncle. You look like my dad.
Yeah. So I'm Iranian.
Mm-hmm.
I have two brothers who go on and off with having mustaches, and my dad. So for me, it's like it's familiar, but it's a little bit like molestache-ish.
Yeah, you've been very critical of it since the day we met. I think the first thing you said was like, your mustache is weird, hi, and then you introduced yourself.
Yes, and I was surprised that you were actually a normal person.
Yes.
That would wear that.
Yeah, and
by choice and not because of Movember.
And it's interesting because everybody goes to molester, pedophile. This is a thing. I don't know where that started. I would like to see the statistics on whether or not pedophiles are more likely to have mustaches, but I think it must have been like it was probably like a movie character or something back in the day, like Chester the Molester, and that's just like now the face of molesters everywhere.
Yeah, that thick. Are you Italian?
I am Italian. Yeah,
that thick Italian mustache. So why do you have a mustache?
Well, I have obviously a lot of facial hair. It comes in pretty thick, and in my mid-20s, when I stopped working office jobs and started doing comedy full-time, started being like, I don't have to shave every day anymore. I don't have to and at that time, I'm 40 now, in the mid-2000s, it wasn't like everybody has a beard. Like now I feel like everybody has a beard.
Especially in Southern California.
Yeah. You could be anything. You could be a Supreme Court justice and have a beard. You know what I mean? So then I was just like, oh, I'm going to let it go. I had a beard forever. I would always just let it grow out, shave it off, start over, just so I didn't have to shave every day. And then one time actually for a role, I shaved into a handlebar mustache. And that was real molestery. That was real creepy.
Yeah.
If you had said you look like a molester, I'd be like, that's what I'm going for. You know what I mean? Double finger point.
That is so disturbing.
And then after that, I took it down. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do the character anymore. I took it down to a regular mustache. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, fun for a minute, but it was definitely very novelty. And then along the way, it just started being a trend where I would grow the beard out, take it all off to the mustache, keep the mustache for a month or two, shave it off, start the whole process over, just to not shave. And then it just became a thing. Every time I would have the mustache, people would compliment it. And so I can't even look at you in
the eye as you're talking. I'm staring at your mustache. It's like, I think it's when a woman's very busty and you just stare at, yeah.
That's what I say all the time. I'm like, my eyes are up here.
Yeah. Well, I can relate to that.
Come up here.
So, I'm actually much more forgiving with the full beard.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all right, it's a statement, and it's a package. But just the mustache, it's very uncle-y to me.
Yeah, and I get that. And this year, I've had the mustache now on. This is probably the longest I've ever had it consistently. I think I went down to the mustache around January or February of this year, and this is the first time it's gone that long because I started doing some comedy shows for a showcase that I was doing, and it went well, and then I worked some mustache jokes into the set, and the next thing I know, I'm going, and it just became a thing where okay, I guess this is my look now. A lot of people were...
They recognize you.
Yeah, a lot of people in the industry having their eyes on me for the first time. I'm the mustache guy. I doubt it'll stay that much longer, but it'll probably make it to the new year.
Does your Bitmoji have a mustache?
My Bitmoji has a mustache, yeah. I have a pretty strong memoji.
You do?
Yeah. How's yours?
Mine is good. I actually, since I cut my hair, I use Bitmoji to kind of look at what hairstyles will look like on me, and then I
Come
grow
on, don't
into
you think
them.
that's strong?
That is. You got to get some salt and pepper in that mustache.
Yeah, I know. They don't have that option.
Bitmoji, you need to upgrade your
Yeah,
app.
you need a little gray hairs in there.
Yeah.
I think I'm a master emoji maker though. I make them for other people. Even at home, I'm just like making it.
So I'm saying Bitmoji because of the Bitmoji app, but you're talking about the Apple built-in.
Yeah, the new one.
And I like that too. And then you can use it has facial recognition.
Yeah.
And I have one for my nephew, and I voice it and I send it to him. It creeps him out because it looks so much like him.
Because the Bitmoji, they do all kinds of wild things.
Yeah.
But the Memoji, it's just doing all the regular emoji things, but with your face now. And I like it. I like hard eyes and, crying face and
They need to have, you know how they have those animal ones?
Yeah.
They need to have one for just the mustache.
Yes, that would be great. That would be if I get big enough, that will be what I push for. I'm just like pushing for like mustache appreciation. You know what I mean? Like I will be for mustaches what like Bruce Jenner was for transgenders.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm gonna get us.
This is that
this
Oprah
is the goal.
interview.
Yeah.
This is where it started, guys. So let's talk about Movember a little bit. So I know this was not the motivation, but you have participated in Movember.
I have participated in Movember a few years ago because I had the mustache previously. A friend of mine reached out who was involved in the Movember. He was like some sort of Movember team guy or something like that. He was like, "Hey,
educate my audience for those that don't know."
Movember is every year in November. You raise money. It's like a walkathon or whatever. But you're going to start at the beginning of the month, clean shaven, and you're going to grow just a mustache the entire month. And
you're like their poster child.
I know, right?
You do that in like 1 hour.
Yeah. So, and you get people to donate or whatever. I did it a long time ago, and I made a couple bucks doing it, like for Movember, which I believe is for one of the cancers.
Prostate
cancer, correct. Yeah. But because I'd had a mustache so long or so often, I think people were like, "You're growing a mustache. You grow a mustache all the time." I feel like Movember, you're more
I would agree with that. I think it's kind of lazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're more likely to gain some momentum. People will be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it has a mustache." If you're a guy who would never have one.
Right.
And I get that a lot in November. People always be like, "Hey, is that for Movember?" I'll be like, "No,
man.
It's just for pussy." Like.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What's been the reception from the ladies?
So it's I've seen the reception over years, but a friend of mine put it very succinctly one time because he also would occasionally rock a mustache, and he said 5% of women want to have sex with a guy with a mustache, but those 5% want to have sex with them 100% of the time. Like it's a niche audience, but it's a passionate niche audience.
So it's
like
when
it's like
guys
Veronica
like
Mars
women?
fans, like there's not a lot of them, but they're so loud that they got a movie made too. Like
so that's what he said to you, and,
yeah.
And how's that held? Is that true?
Absolutely, yeah. And I noticed that before, and I said that's the best I've ever heard it put, because people no one's ever on the fence about it. No one's ever unsure how they feel.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So and what I've noticed, and it's it's a little whatever reverse Oedipal is, but I'll meet women and they'll be like, "I love your mustache," and they're like immediately like full court press. They're all over me, and you're like, okay, this girl is into me. She's into the mustache, whatever. And then usually a couple days later, I'll be like, "Oh, here's a picture of my dad," and it's like, "Oh, he has a mustache,"
Yeah.
Or your uncle has a mustache. It's like somebody close to them that they really loved had a mustache, and this is some sort of weird reminder, but like
daddy issues, but in a positive way.
Yeah, I mean, positive for me. There's probably some sort of underlying thing going on with them, but it works out perfectly for me.
Daddy in bed? I mean, does that...
I've gotten a few daddies.
Yeah, God.
Yeah. Which is always a little bit weird, but
I would imagine. And so, do you feel like they love you for your mustache and not for you? Does that ever cross your mind? Like, what happens? Like, if you decide to shave and...
Yeah. Well, I do feel like that if I was a 5'9" man with this mustache, it would be weird. But I think women tend to speak about my whole package. They're like, "You're so tall and hairy with the mustache and the voice and the," you know what I mean? And So it's some sort of, I don't know,
Simpsons
camp
character.
counselor dream or like, college professor vibes or something like that. Because I often hear like, oh, so, there's always talk of like musk and flannel. And I'm like, I'm not a lumberjack, I've just got a mustache.
You're just wearing a hoodie.
Exactly.
Yeah. A guy wearing a hoodie who just happens to have a
drinking
mustache.
a bourbon, having a mustache.
That's
Sometimes
right.
I play it up. I drive a Cadillac, so.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, like a new one.
No, a 79
Oh, wow.
Seville.
Yeah, you are a mustache.
Yeah, exactly. Riding around in a white Seville with this mustache. People give me looks.
So in the comedic community, what do the guys say to you? Are they loving it or are they hating on the mustache?
Well, I think it's split because some people look at it as like I'm doing some sort of shtick or novelty or whatever, and I'm absolutely not. Like I think I have one joke,
and because of social media, you have the pictures to prove it. Like this is who you are.
This is who I am, and I think I've got one joke in my act about it, which is I say I don't have kids, but I am an uncle, and I say I think my mustache already told you that.
Yeah.
But I think there are other guys who do have some sort of facial hair as a novelty, and then when I arrive, there can be a little bit of friction. Yeah, because I know one guy, I won't name names, but he has a mustache and like, the first 10 jokes of his act are about it, but it's not quite this. And so when I walk in, it's sort of, there's a new alpha stash in the room.
You can't get lost in his mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
I had an ex-boyfriend who was always clean shaven, and he went to like Yosemite for like 2 weeks, and when he came back, he looked like a billy goat. Yeah. He had like random hairs that he couldn't grow, and he was very, very upset about it. He's like, I just want to grow a mustache. I'm like, please don't.
The grass is always greener. That's the thing. Like when I was growing up, I always looked at the guys, like the people on TV, I always wanted like Leonardo DiCaprio's hair that just seems to like flop everywhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like the Johnny Depp look, and they always have like the thin beard and like the floppy hair. Meanwhile, I've got thick everything, and guys look at me, they're like, oh, I wish I had that mustache. I'm like, grass is always greener. I just wanted to be on,
Do you look at a clean shaven face and say, the grass is always greener? I want that clean shave.
Sometimes, just from a maintenance standpoint. Right. I just wish I could have a day off. Yeah. From tearing into my face with razors. Because even when I would keep the beard, like I grow such thick hair that it's like, well, then it's like all the way up your face, it's down your neck. You gotta trim that. That's a whole process.
Have you looked into, being like a model for like a shaving kit?
No, but I have a podcast, and we have a razor sponsorship, and I think that's stuck because of the mustache.
And so that's why you have the mustache, right? Yeah. You're like tied to them legally.
Legally. Yeah.
I knew there was a
contractually.
Reason. Like, it's not.
They're like,
look,
normal, our target is
nice
pedophiles.
Person with that mustache on his face. I don't get it. Now I understand why. So Joe, I know we're coming to an end here. You are a comedian, so I want the audience to be able to come see you. Do you have any shows coming up?
I do, yeah. I've got a few shows here in Los Angeles. I'll be at Flappers this week on Tuesday night, Celebrity Drop-In. I'll be doing a long set there.
Are you the Celebrity Drop-In?
I'm not. Oh. No, I'm actually on the lineup. Who the drop-in is, we won't find out until Tuesday. And then I'm in Lake Tahoe at the Improv at Harvey's. And then New York, all around the New York tri-state area for a couple shows, doing shows in Pleasantville, Lucy's Laugh Lounge, Morristown Performing Arts Center in New Jersey, and all the New York City clubs.
Wonderful. So, and if they want to follow you, how do they find you?
You can, it's all about Instagram these days, right? Joe Praino on Instagram, joepraino.com for shows, at Fix Your Life on Twitter. And if the picture doesn't have a mustache, it's not me.
It's not him. That is a fake.
Yeah.
And Joe, in your podcast, like it's a sports podcast.
Yep.
Dirty Sports, is it?
That's right. The Dirty Sports podcast with my co-host Andy Ruther, who, if you tune in to one of the recent episodes, he's been rocking the mustache lately.
Has
he put it on for a Halloween costume.
But he's the 5'9" guy that you're kind of describing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so even right when he shaved it for a Halloween costume, a lot of people are like, "Don't do this. You're embarrassing yourself. You sit next to the mustache. Like there can't be two mustache guys." Yeah. And he's like, "We're the Stash Brothers," and I'm like, "Please stop saying that," because he kind of looks like a creeper with it. Him. Yeah.
So you can objectively see it in other people, but just not yourself.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. If you want to contribute to Movember, I'm sure there's tons of great guys in your life with mustaches who are raising funds for prostate cancer. And thanks, Joe, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.